Looking round from the summit, you tell yourself that it was worthwhile. Other silvery peaks appear through the clouds. If you're lucky, the sun may be on them. The surrounding peaks look like a jewel necklace around the neck of your summit. Below, you see vast valleys sloping into the distance. It is an ennobling, enriching experience to just look down from the summit of a mountain. You bow down and make your obeisance to whichever god you worship. I left on Everest a picture of Guru Nanak, Rawat left a picture of goddess Durga, Pudurgi left a relic of the Buddha, Edmund Hillary had buried a cross under the cairn, a heap of rocks and stones in the snow. These are not symbols of conquest but of reverence. Here, the author says that as you look around once you reach the summit, you tell yourself that it was worth all the struggle and hardships. You can see other peaks through the clouds, and if you are fortunate enough, there may be sunlight on them. The peaks nearby look as a jewel necklace around the neck of your summit. As you look down, you can look at the vast valleys from a distance. To look down from the summit of a mountain is an honorable and enhancing experience. As you are on the top of a mountain, you bow down and you pay your respects to whichever god you worship. On Everest, the author left a picture of Guru Nanak Dev. His fellow climbers, Rawat and Pudurji, left pictures and relics of goddess Durga and Buddha, respectively, while Edmund Hillary built a cross under the heap of rocks in the snow. He mentioned that these are not symbols of accomplishment, but of respect and admiration. This is because the experience of having climbed the summit changes you completely. There is another summit. It is within yourself. It is in your own mind. Each man carries within himself his own mountain peak. He must climb it to reach a fuller knowledge of himself. It is fearful and unscalable. It cannot be climbed by anyone else. You yourself have to do it. The physical act of climbing to the summit of a mountain outside is akin to the act of climbing the mountain within. The effects of both the climbs are the same. Whether the mountain you climb is physical or emotional and spiritual, the climb will certainly change you. It teaches you much about the world and about yourself. Here, the author talks about another summit, that is a summit within one's own mind. And he explains how there is a mountain peak within each person's mind and how he must climb it to attain complete awareness of oneself. It is fearful and cannot be measured. Moreover, no one except you can climb it. He further explains how physically climbing a mountain is similar to climbing the one within. The effects of both the climbs are also the same. It changes you completely, irrespective of the nature of climbing, whether it is physical, emotional, or spiritual. It teaches you a lot about the world around you and the one inside you. I venture to think that my experience as an Everester has provided me with the inspiration to face life's ordeals resolutely. Climbing the mountain was a worthwhile experience. The conquest of the internal summit is equally worthwhile. The internal summit are perhaps higher than Everest. Here, the author goes about thinking that his experience as an Everester has given him both the strength and inspiration to deal with life's painful experiences with determination and firmness. Just like climbing Everest was a worthwhile experience, conquering the summit within is equally worthwhile. And moreover, we can say that internal summits are higher than the physical summit of Everest. So I hope you understood the lesson completely, and it gives you an inspiration to climb a physical summit or a summit that is within ourselves. Thank you for watching.